All right, hello. I'm Jackson McDonald, and this is my Module 8 discussion. I'm going to start off strong with question number one. How do the ways that people talk about nature connect them or disconnect them with others? What are some ways to use communication resources to build bridges across opposing perspectives? Is it possible to reconcile all differences? Um, I think I think that a way that nature, would kind of allow people to connect with each other is if they kind of share that same sort of love with nature as a whole, kind of, people that like making sure the ecosystem is clean, making sure that the river isn't polluted and all of this. I feel like that's a good way of them, like, that's how people will connect throughout the conversations of nature. But disconnect, I feel like this can also fall into the idea that like people might not like want to be surrounded by the people that know everything about nature, or, like want to save the world like today or tomorrow, or like I feel like it's really about what you care about and kind of like what you find cool, what you find interesting, because there's there's environmental advocates and things like that, people that love and will go out of their way to save the animals' lives or like certain ecosystems. But others, they live in one ecosystem. Why would they worry about others? So I think that the conversations that those two types of people might had towards each other would kind of disconnect them, because one person doesn't really care about anything that they don't see on their daily life, while the other one has more open mindset towards, well, there's 7 billion other people on this world and there's plenty of other things going on. Let's make sure that it's all, sweet and sound. But I do think it's possible to reconcile all the differences. This I feel like this is gonna take like someone being the bigger person and kind of realizing like, hey, there's two sides to the story. She's trying to cut down on create or like making internal combustion cars, but at the end of the day, like we're trying to move on to electricity, which is in theory better for the environment. Obviously, that's a different story, but I feel like it is able to reconcile differences if the person that is getting talked to is able to realize that there's two sides to the opinion, that there's a reason behind everything, and that it isn't necessarily negative. It just might seem that way at first. But that is my answer number one. All right, I am going to do, for my second question, I'm going to do question number three. Although language barriers impede healthcare access from adults and children, little work has been done to inquire into language barriers with older and aging individuals. In addition to language problems, what communication problems can you identify that are particular to elder populations that might impact their healthcare access? Well, I feel like there's a lot of reasons for this, that older people are kind of seen to struggle being able to get healthcare access and stuff like that. I feel like it seems to be an issue of technology and being able to communicate with what they have, because my grandma, she has a flip phone. I mean, she doesn't really like care to have anything else, but that will limit her ability to communicate with certain people. So this is kind of like how like older people might be getting like scammed for their Netflix or whatever, because they're paying for, two extra people when they're not really having to. And I feel like honestly, it all comes down to the lack of, I mean, they're not used to the world we live in today, where there's phones everywhere, where there's, everything is being recorded or posted or stuff like that. But I feel like, a lot of older people kind of hold that, kind of mindset of, this is all I need to live. I don't really need a expensive laptop or expensive phone to live my normal life. But certain things like healthcare access can be an issue if someone's mindset is like that. Like my grandma, I think like last week she realized she was paying for like two phone plans. I mean, like I don't know how, but like she was clearly like, I don't know, the older they get, the less like competent you are with what's going on around you most of the time. And I feel like they kind of have that like not really care. They don't really care, but when something bad happens, they don't have the ability to go out and get that help because they didn't care. I'm not saying it's their fault or anything like that, but it's just the differences throughout time and how people are used to communicate. And I think that has really taken a toll on older people and stuff like that because they have to go out and get this help. It's not advertised or dropped on their front porch like a little cat and a mouse, you know what I mean? So, yeah. All right, for my last question, I'm going to do number 5. What examples can you think of your own experiences that illustrate the cross cultural management approaches represented in this book? Feel free to use examples that come up other than work life, example, sports, coaching, scouts, theater, school, whatever. I'm just gonna go with kind of the comparison between my work life and kind of how I talk at work, and then kind of how I talk around my families, because it is drastically different. At work I kind of have to hold this sort of professional kind of mature stature, but I work in a kitchen. I'm a chef in a kitchen, but I do have to kind of keep this like professional, clean manner to me because I am making people's food, and I'm not just making people's food, I'm making it in front of them. So they're seeing what's being made. I have to be clean. I have to be respectful. I can't be anything else. I have to be, the best version of myself that I can. Whether that's me putting on a fake smile or not, I mean, I have a job and I need to get it done. But that's kind of like the difference is like I need to get it done. When I'm around my family, it's more of just like I'm more comfortable. I mean, I'm not saying like there's stuff I need to do around my family and stuff like that, but in general, I'm more comfortable. The way I talk is different. My mannerisms are different. Even just the context in which the things I bring up is different. At work, I do have like work buddies and stuff I like talk with in the back, but at the end of the day, yeah, we do have a job to do, and someone might be ending up yelling at another person to get their job done, but I mean, it's a kind of like a form of like being able to take criticism and kind of build off of it and kind of use it as motivation because, without you can't really run the full kitchen, or else this restaurant would not be running. So, I kind of like to use that mindset towards more than just work in my life, kind of having that mindset of like, do this, do that, and I'll lead on to this. So, I've been able to kind of like, I guess that's a way I've been able to illustrate the whole cross culture management, but it just differs. The ability for me to manage a kitchen and the ability for me to manage a grocery list kind of have some similarities, but at the end of the day, they are different because they have different contexts, they have different needs, they have different meanings. So that's why I truly believe that having a mindset to where you can kind of generalize a idea or something and make it less of a worry or less of a issue is a way that I use, or a ability that I use to get things done efficiently through cross culture management. But in general, for my last answer to question 5, it's more of like a mindset thing for me. Being able to like understand and use leverage that I've been able to see throughout my work into my real life is a way that I'm able to illustrate aspects of this whole cross-cultural management. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my what week are we on, or well, module 8 discussion, and I'll catch you guys later.